My name is Colin Robinette, and I was unsure of exactly what I would be doing when I first joined the Engage the Vote program at College of the Canyons. However, both my goals as an honor student and my desire to make a positive impact in my community were enough to push me to join. The first thing I experienced were the Zoom meetings. During these weekly Zoom calls, I would speak with our instructor and the other lead fellows in order to plan out exactly how the team would get more people out to vote. The earlier calls were mostly spent sharing strategies and solidifying the motives of the team to strengthen democracy and have more people participate in it regardless of party affiliations. In the later meetings, when we were nearing the candidate interviews, we were specifically organizing and planning those so that everything would run smoothly once we reached them. Overall, the nature of the Engage the Vote program meant that I was not with the team in person a lot, so the Zoom meetings were crucial for creating a synergy between us all. When working on the questions to ask for the candidate interviews we were doing on campus, I needed to keep in mind what the people paying attention to these elections would like to know. The majority of general questions had already been posed, such as thoughts on general political climate or concerns about education. However, the propositions I made could not be too specific, as for fairness' sake, the questions needed to remain the same between the candidates running against each other. My solution was to be detailed in my questions, suggesting rather than general. For instance, one question I proposed was asking for clarity on a simple step by step plan to combat inflation. Ideally, the questions would be specific enough to be helpful and unique, form a broader perspective, um, with questions falling under the same umbrella, while still being general enough to allow a 5-minute answer. I also aided with the evaluation of how the questions went over after the interview, deciding on the best way to focus on issues brought up in political advertisements without being unintentionally biased. Finally, the biggest contribution I made to the Engage the Vote program was aiding in the interviewing of the candidates. In particular, I was one of the two people interviewing the state senator, Kit Mueller. The most important part of the process was striking a balance between staying on script and being professional, while also being able to engage in small discussions with the candidate in front of me. Maintaining the proper flow of the interview and acting as a moderator was an honor, especially when the people who were there were trying to better inform themselves for the upcoming election. At the end of it all, when I shook hands with the candidate and took a seat in the audience, I really felt like I'd been a small part of something very important, and I hope the other people in there felt informed by the event.